Hello and welcome. This is the Expertly German Podcast, the podcast to learn German. Hallo und herzlich willkommen zum Expertly German Podcast, dem Podcast zum Deutschlernen. And this is a special episode because this is the audio version of a video lesson from my new A1 beginners course. The course is now live and you can find the link to enroll in the description below. The course includes over 30 lessons and quizzes, and this lesson from the course is about what to say in a restaurant when you're in Germany. So here you go, enjoy! Okay, so in this lesson we learn how to say something in the supermarket. When you go to a supermarket in Germany, it's probably quite helpful to know, well, the different types of food that we have in a supermarket and how to ask some things and how to also pay and what type of things you can expect other people to say and what maybe is a good way to answer. This is what we learn in this lesson. All right, der Supermarkt, pretty much exactly the same as in English, so not difficult, but masculine, that's important to keep that in mind. Cool. So the first word that I guess is quite important to know is, well, I was thinking, okay, if I go to a supermarket, what's the first thing I do? I probably go to pick up the trolley, the shopping trolley. And if you don't know where the shopping trolleys are or you can't find one, then you might ask for that. And in German, we would say der Einkaufswagen. Der Einkaufswagen. As you probably already know, kind of from the previous lessons and so on, we like to combine words in German. So Einkauf and Wagen, that literally means shopping wagon. So pretty straightforward. Der Einkaufswagen. Then der Kassierer, die Kassiererin. So we have the masculine first, der Kassierer, and then the feminine way, die Kassiererin. Der Kassierer, die Kassiererin. And that's the cashier. Yeah. And the cash register where you then would pay is die Kasse. Die Kasse. Because we have a double S here, in front of the A, we don't say die Kase. The double S kind of is stronger than the A. That's a little bit how I try to remember it. And that makes the A short. So instead of Kase, we say die Kasse. We also have this with other words like die Sonne, the sun. We don't say die Sonne, we say die Sonne, short O, because there is a double N in front of the O. And here, die Kasse, the cash register. Das Gemüse. Okay, trying to make people a little bit healthy. That's why I tried to pick das Gemüse, the vegetable. Then how would you say, I'm going to the supermarket? This is how we would say. Ich gehe zum Supermarkt. Ich gehe zum Supermarkt. Literally means I go to the supermarket. And the zum, as I wrote here, comes from the preposition zu and the article dem. And that we then combine, we drop the de and we just say zum rather than ich gehe zu dem Supermarkt. We say ich gehe zum Supermarkt. And usually we say zu dem Supermarkt if we want to specifically point out to this supermarket over there. Ich gehe zu dem Supermarkt. Nicht zu dem Supermarkt, sondern zu dem Supermarkt. But if I just want to say I go to the supermarket, then I just say ich gehe zum Supermarkt. Kind of, that's probably the best way to remember it. Ich bin im Supermarkt. Let's say someone calls you, or I don't know, and you have to answer that in German, then you would say, ich bin im Supermarkt. Same system, in and dem combines to im Supermarkt. Ich bin im Supermarkt. All right, so how would we kind of now say I buy or I would like to buy something? So here we have from left to right, ein Brot, the bread, a bread, a cheese, einen Käse, ein Stück Fleisch, like a piece of meat, literally like that, einen Salat, and eine Butter. Okay, so I could say, ich kaufe einen Käse. That means I am buying a cheese. If you want to say, I would like to buy a cheese, then we would say, ich möchte einen Käse kaufen. So, for example, you go to the supermarket, you don't know where something is. You could say, ich möchte einen Käse kaufen. Wo ist der Käse? Yeah, I teach you questions and so on later a little bit more. You could also say, ich möchte einen Salat kaufen. Ich möchte einen Salat kaufen. Ich kaufe eine Butter. Ich kaufe eine Butter. I am buying a butter. Yeah, so again, ein Brot, einen Käse, ein Stück Fleisch, einen Salat, eine Butter. I don't know, those were the most important words that I could come up with in the supermarket. I'm sure there are many more, but they're pretty fundamental, I would say. Okay, and measurements. Measurements are also pretty important, I would say. Here we have 2 Liter, 2 Liter. You could say 1 Liter, 2 Liter, einen halben Liter. So if you ask for something or you want to see the measurements, this is how we would say that. Der Liter, the liter. Yeah, pretty much the same. And you just put the number in front. And then ein Kilo. Ein Kilo. Yeah. So pretty much exactly like in English, 1 kilo. In German, that's pretty much the same. I'm sure there are more measurements, but I would say those are the 2 most important ones. So let's not spend too much time with that. Okay, so entschuldigen Sie, wo finde ich Salate? Salate finden Sie beim Gemüse. So here we have excuse me or excuse you, like the polite version. Where do I find salads? Salads I find with the vegetables, or salads you find with the vegetables, you polite. So, and then you have to change the beim for other kind of like other types of foods. And we will look into that in a moment. But this is how you would ask if you go to a supermarket and you don't know where you can find something, then this is what you would say. Entschuldigen Sie, wo finde ich, and then fill out the blank. Wo finde ich das Brot? Wo finde ich Getränke? Wo finde ich Fleisch? And so on. Yeah? And then they might answer, Sie finden das Gemüse dort oder Sie finden den Salat dort. Ja? Entschuldigen Sie, wo finde ich Kekse? Kekse finden Sie bei den Backwaren. So here we have plural Backwaren, and that's why we change beim to bei den. And this means, excuse me, where do I find cookies? Cookies you find with the like bakery stuff. Ja? Entschuldigen Sie, wo finde ich Kekse? Kekse finden Sie bei den Backwaren. Okay, and here are a lot of other kind of phrases and products that you might want to know in the supermarket. So, bei den Süßigkeiten. So, for example, entschuldigen Sie, wo finde ich, wo finde ich die Schokolade? Die Schokolade finden Sie bei den Süßigkeiten. The chocolate you find in the sweets section. Entschuldigung, wo finde ich gefrorenes Gemüse? Where do I find frozen vegetables? Das gefrorene Gemüse finden Sie im Tiefkühlregal. So Tiefkühlregal is a funny word. It actually means deep, cool shelf. Again, combining words, in this case 3 words, that then ends up as being Tiefkühlregal in the deep in the freezer section. Oder beim Fleisch, like at the meat, denn ja, Sie finden das, keine Ahnung, das Steak beim Fleisch. Sie finden die Sojamilch bei den Milchprodukten. So you find the soy milk at the milk products or with the milk products in the milk product section. Wo finde ich den Wein? Den Wein finden Sie in der Getränkeabteilung. Wine you find in the drinks department or section. Wo finde ich, keine Ahnung, das Spülmittel? Where do I find the washing soap to wash the dishes? Das Spülmittel finden Sie bei den Hausmitteln. The washing soap, you find that in the home supplies section. So those are, I think, quite important words and phrases to know. Kind of like a lot of departments and sections and areas in a supermarket that I think are quite important. Here are some more phrases. I say it first and you repeat after me. Ich gehe einkaufen is I'm going shopping. Ich gehe einkaufen. Cool. Entschuldigung, ich suche glutenfreies Brot. Again, Entschuldigung, ich suche glutenfreies Brot. Excuse me, I'm looking for gluten-free bread. Yeah, that's maybe important, especially nowadays. So the next one is, excuse me, which aisle is the milk? Entschuldigung, in welchem Gang ist Milch oder ist die Milch? Again, Entschuldigung, in welchem Gang ist Milch? In which aisle is the milk? The next one is, do you sell honey? Verkaufen Sie Honig? Verkaufen Sie Honig? Cool. Möchten Sie mit Karte zahlen? Do you want to pay by card? Möchten Sie mit Karte zahlen? And then the answer would be, ich möchte mit Bargeld zahlen. So you could say, no, I'd like to pay by cash, I'd like to pay cash. So, nein, ich möchte mit Bargeld zahlen. Oder ich möchte bar zahlen. Or you could also say, I'd like to pay by card. Ich möchte mit Karte bezahlen. Yeah. Okay, so let's do a little role play. We just, I kind of go through what you would say in a supermarket. So you go there and on the left side you have the teller, the person that is at the cash machine, the cashier, and you're buying the food on the right side. So an der Kasse, guten Tag, hallo. Das macht dann 25,86 € bitte. Again, das macht dann 25,86 € bitte. Möchten Sie mit Karte bezahlen? Would you like to pay by card? Möchten Sie mit Karte bezahlen? Nein, ich bezahle bar. No, I pay cash. Nein, ich bezahle bar. Hier bitte. So when you give the money over, you could say hier bitte. Danke, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag. Danke, thank you, I wish you a great day. Ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag. And then if you don't want to say the whole sentence, you could say thank you likewise. So you would say danke ebenso. Danke ebenso. And this is kind of how you're saying the most important things, the most fundamental things in a supermarket in German. And I think this will be quite helpful next time you go to a supermarket in German to like buy something, to find the right food, to ask where you can find something, and also maybe to have a bit more of a conversation with the cashier an der Kasse. Cool. Thank you very much und bis bald.